animal season at Owl's Nest Sanctuary in Odessa. How they're caring for their little ones. Next.
I am at Owl's Nest Sanctuary for Wildlife. Now, they call it Owl's Nest, but somehow I ended up with this little guy. This is Kestrel. You probably can't see it on television. Yes. You're much more interesting and probably more articulate than I am. You should take my gig. But anyway, you probably can't see it, but here, he's missing a couple of parts of his digits there, his knuckles. So he's going to be here at least for a while, if not longer. Yeah, I just heard that he's a permanent resident. Another resident and the founder is standing right next to me, Chris Porter. Now, this little guy just came in. What happened to him?
Yep, you guys were walking in the door, and he came in right after. He actually was found in Lutz. He was found next to a school there. And probably because there's a break in his radius ulna, he hit by a car probably, and he kind of slammed into the wall of the school on top of it. Marcella got him really quick, and he's going to be going to Busch Gardens to get checked out probably tomorrow. So right now I just stabilized him when you guys were standing there. And
you say that like no big deal, but you handled him like you are a pro, but it was just amazing. You moved him around. You gave him an enormous amount of electrolytes.
Right. Gave him a bunch of fluids because he's pale in the mouth, so he's probably really stressed out and hurting. So he got fluids, he got pain meds, I gave him a little vitamin B also, and now he will be calm and sit for the rest of the night till he goes to the vet. So,
this is only one of the species you deal with everything under the planet, pretty much. Maybe zebras and not giraffes.
Nest,
that was when you were at Busch.
Right.
So what else?
Owl's Nest takes every Florida native species. We got baby possums in today. I wish to God we were saying we were coming off baby possum season. We have done over 320, I understand. It's like a second wave right now, so we just got these guys today. Now we're starting baby squirrels, so that'll start that fun. And then we do the mammals, we do the reptiles. We're big Go for Tortoise Commission, and that's one of our permanents. That's Ginger. She actually came in this year. She had a break in her wing that they tried to fix at Busch, and it just didn't heal right. So she was so gorgeous. She's got such an unusual color with her eyes and feathers that we said, oh, we got to keep her. We have Noelle, which is also a red morph screech owl, but she is just out of this world in color. She's all roughed up, loving this right now. Her tufts are up, her defensive feathers on her face are up.
So you run on volunteers and donations.
Right, we do. We have probably over 250 volunteers. We cover right now all the way past Winter Haven, down to the Bayside Bridge, up to Homosassa, and out to the beaches. He agrees. We've been, just like everybody else, kind of on standby since March. We get our money to run this place by events. So any help would be great help. You can go onto our website, you can go onto our Facebook site, or you can volunteer. We take volunteers all the time.
So volunteers money, and you get to play with really cool wildlife, and you learn about wildlife. Usually people only see this from a distance. I don't think I've ever had a kestrel on my finger. I've had parakeets, I've had cockatoos, that kind of stuff, but this is a first for me, and it's really kind of fun. So remember, Owl's Nest Sanctuary for Wildlife needs your help, so...
Exactly.
It's reinforced. There you go, from the horse's mouth or the kestrel's mouth. Back to you guys.
Today, teaching us about baby animals in a special place that helps care for them.
Yeah, he's at a place called the Owl's Nest Sanctuary for Wildlife in Odessa. And get ready to say, aw.
So funny.
So really, anytime is a fun time to come to Owl's Nest. Lots of stuff going on all the time, but this is us hitting it exactly right. You know why? It is feeding time, and look what we're feeding. Let me get down over here. You're going to see Rhea. And you are the director of education, but I think, and I'm sure they want to hear what you say, but I think they want to see this little guy do, oh! There you go.
They had it over here for me. So this here is Freedom. Freedom is a white-tailed deer fawn, and he came in around Memorial Day. Not long afterwards, we got in Liberty, and then the last couple of weeks, we got in Captain over here. Now, these guys come in frequently. If you want to just keep a hold on that.
Oh, my technique was bad, apparently.
That's okay.
People are going to say, oh, they're so beautiful. I would like to have one of these. What's the possibility of that happening? There you go.
So these guys are not an animal that you can have as a pet. A lot of times people find them, they are concerned with them because mom will actually leave them hiding while she goes out and make sure that all of her basic needs are met before she comes back. So a lot of times we do get people who find them, they're little, like Captain here, they assume that they're in need of rescue, and they will actually pull them. So it's really important that we make sure that when we do take them in, it's because there's no other option.
So did these guys come in kind of mistakenly, or was there a reason why they came in specifically?
When we get the calls, we actually go out and we make sure it's not a mistake. So we make sure that mom hasn't been around. We check to see if they're hydrated, to see if there's any injuries, or if we can find any sign of mom. So our first goal is always to reunite them. If that's possible, that's what we want to do. And when they come in, that is the last thing we want to do.
This little guy is asking for more, and he drank an entire bottle other than what's spilled on the ground.
Yes.
How many times a day do you feed them?
Well, it depends on their age, how often they get fed. And Freedom and Liberty are at the point where they're going to start to work their way onto solid foods. So they have access to all of the grass here, as well as some other solid foods.
So out in nature, they'd be eating berries and twigs and leaves
They
and whatever?
would, at this point, start to experiment with those solid foods. Be watching what mom's eating, take a taste at those things. At Captain's age, it's still going to be formula-based nursing only.
How do you not pet something like this? Of course, I'm probably breaking all the rules,
Nope.
but how do you not peopleize them so much so when they're returned to nature, they don't have the sense of going up to people and not being a deer any longer?
Right. These guys need the love when they're little. They start to understand that we're something to be hesitant of as they get older. And then where they go, it's actually a soft release. So it's an area.
Which means what?
They have access to come and go until they're ready to be on their own.
Can that be my backyard?
Can that be your backyard? We can talk about that.
Yeah.
We have very specific places that we've selected where we know what the human interaction is like so that it's keeping them safe.
Are they in more danger just because we see so much development going on in the Tampa Bay area? And it seems like the environment is getting smaller and smaller, the ecosystem.
Absolutely. Anytime we have new developments, there's not only habitat loss, but there's habitat fragmentation that's going on. So you see them having to cross the street more to get to the resources they need, and that definitely puts them and a lot of other animals at risk.
So the deer really are only one small part of what happens here at Owl's Nest. And we're going to see another animal coming up. And I understand it's a very unusual animal to see in this state. So I'm not going to tell you what it is, but stay tuned and you are going to find out. Back to you.
Now that's a tease. And if you want to know more about Owl's Nest, volunteer or attend an event to support it, go to our website and find out how.
I wonder if Ken's going to offer that mystery animal some milk too. Maybe that's how he's going to lure it in. We'll find out.
Ken Suarez stepping in for Chip Brewster, and when I fill in for him, we go all kinds of really fun places, but this is certainly one of my favorite places. This is Owl's Nest Sanctuary for Wildlife, so we're going to show you, of course, some wildlife, and this is some unusual wildlife. I'm not talking about the lady, that is Chris, in the purple shirt, but what are you holding there?
I am holding a baby beaver, North American beaver.
And this came in because why?
Well, believe it or not, in Florida we do have beavers. They're up in the Panhandle, and she got hit by a car up near Panama City, and the rehabbers up there named Emerald Coast Rehab got her in, but they were a little bit less experienced. They found out that I used to work at Bush, and they called and said, can you take a beaver? She's critical.
You have worked with every species on the face of the planet, or so it seems. Like what, for example?
I've worked with panda bears. I've raised tigers, lions, giraffes. Anything Busch Gardens has, I've pretty much raised one or more.
Just the normal stuff?
Just normal day. Yeah, I've done it. I've been very blessed in my life.
And
Yep.
at some point you decided there was enough of working for Bush and you were going to break off on your own and you developed this sanctuary.
Well, actually, I had my own little munchkins. I left Bush because I had a critical 4-pound daughter. So I retired, and I didn't do anything for 14 years until one of my keeper friends said, you're wasting your talent. So, needless to say, 5 years ago, Owl's Nest was formed. And now we are very large. We cover a lot of Central Florida. And so she is definitely one of the most interesting animals we've had. She has definitely stolen our hearts. She thinks she's going somewhere. Beavers have quite bad attitudes. If she gets mad at me, you'll see it.
What does she do?
Well, she'll slap her tail at me. She also screams.
Does she bite?
She will try to bite. Yeah, she's doing pretty good, actually. So she had terrible neurological. She got hit square in the car by a car. Her teeth were chipped and missing. She went immediately to Busch Gardens, and Dr. Pete checked her out. She literally pretty much crawled on her side for the first month. Could not use her hands. We were really scared she was going to stay like that. So this is a huge improvement. Her teeth, luckily, the root was still there, so her tooth grew down. Dr. Pete kind of evened them out. And she's going to be with us a year and a half. Baby beavers stay a long time. And that was, you know, something to think about when we took her from the rehab, because we're blessed we have the area. We're going to build her a pen, and we're going to try to get her back to the wild. Right now, it's iffy because she still shows a little signs of neuro. She's dying to go see what's off the blanket, so I'm going to let her go.
That would be Craig behind the camera. She's kind of heading in his general direction.
But what a cool little animal. You see all the webbed feet. She swims beautifully. Even when she was neurological, when she was in the water, she was like a gorgeous swimmer. But when she got mad, slap.
We have to wrap, but I just want to say that this costs a lot of money to pull off. You run on donations.
We do.
And you're always looking for more. So if somebody wants to donate to help little critters like this or the other animals that are here, and there are many of them, all you have to do is go to our website and we'll direct you in the right direction.
I would appreciate
and
that.
And good job.
Thank you.
How much fun, huh? Back to you guys.
All right, thank you, Ken. Coming up in sports.